Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be talking about fascism and what is a fascist. Now the topic at hand is very serious because of the implications and the ramifications of using that word. Today in society, that word is being overused a lot, right? In every news cycle that you see, someone's being called a fascist, someone's being called, a communist, a dictator, or these type of things. And we also have to recognize that the importance of these words and what they mean, and also the history behind them. So, for example, the word fascist, it comes from the fascist system of fascism. Now, we gotta understand the root to understand why these words being overused is so bad. So a fascist is someone who supports or promotes fascism, which is a specific type of ideology and system of government. And so this system of government, fascism, came to root in Italy, pre Benito Mussolini. Oh gosh, I messed up the name. Benito Mussolini. God, you know what? We're just gonna call him the supreme dictator Benito Mussolini. Mussolini. We're gonna get it right. And but it took a famous form in Adolf Hitler's Germany, which then became Nazism. Nazis and all that. But the fascist system is a system that's controlled by one leader or a very small group of leaders, but in the most famous instance, it's been controlled by one famous leader, Benito, and our friend, whoa, our hated person, Adolf Hitler. I don't know, I said friend. That's funny. Now, a fascist leader, he doesn't like no real political opposition. Well, he makes it look like he has a political opposition, The look, the optics of choice for the citizens look better than, I guess, a dictator, but there's no real opposition. But they want extreme nationalism from their country. Now, when we look at Benito's Italy or Adolf Hitler's Germany, realize that most of the citizens were all, it's us versus everyone. It was Germany versus the world. It was Italy over the versus the world, and their governments, they control every form of society and use force and propaganda to maintain control and over their society. So they tightly regulate media, education, and economy to align with the goals. So we seen in Benito's Italy, he controlled the media on what's being said. He controlled the economy, farmlands and all of that. And fascism hates communists. For some, they hate communism, and we know why, because communism promotes the sense of all-togetherness, but not in the way that a fascism system will want. Now, today, we see often that people throw out this word fascism around loosely as an insult, right? In many media cycles, you see them calling Trump or anyone on the left wing, and sometimes it's even thrown back at the right wing. Oh, you're a fascist. Oh, you're a dictator. Oh, all this and that. But we gotta remember that this is referring to a very specific and extreme ideology that was associated with Adolf Hitler Germany and Benito's Italy. These were two governments that were cruel to their own citizens and killed anyone and anything that went against them, right? So that word is being used and it's not really understood, which is kind of the reason why I'm making this video for you guys, right? Fascism, it's not something that is taught or like widely known, right? I'm young, but like even in school, that system or that way of thinking was never taught. Even when we were going over Germany, Hitler, that wasn't what came up. It was, yeah, Nazis are bad, but we didn't know what system that was even in place. We knew he was a dictator, but there's been many dictators, and dictators are often aligned with communism, but we find that they hate communism, which is, it's kind of interesting. Um, Fascism at its core doesn't really have a definition, but there are guidelines in place that kind of recognize what is a fascist, right? A fascism, a fascist leader, right? He wants extreme control, right? So he wants him to be in charge, or yeah, it's him. I don't think they'll let a woman be in control. A fascist leader, extreme control, right? Control over everything, extreme nationalism. So often when we found that those fascist governments, this came after like a national disaster, right? For Adolf Hitler Germany, they had just finished losing World War I, and they had to pay all this money, so the country was in a really bad place. So they were just trying to find something that made everyone feel like they belong and place that hate on someone. So was it with Benito's Italy. Again, it comes from extreme crisis and instability. So usually after a war, everyone is afraid of what's gonna happen. A desire for order and national strength. They will come together, and that's where fascism is able to take root. But when we look at today's society and people that are being called fascists, it's often being used on people that people don't like, right? Our current government, our current government is not the best, or the right wing people are not. Sorry, camera died. Post production's gonna fix that. So again, like I was saying, our current government and the left wing or the right wing, whatever one, I forget sometimes. They often look the same. They blend together. But they often put these labels on each other in a way that doesn't make sense, because I promise you, you ask one of these people what a fascist is, they will not know what a fascist is. It's just a word that they hear. Fascism has been a word that's been, I guess, the new popular word or the new way to insult someone. And I think it just comes from the stem of not knowing what that word really mean and the history behind it. Fascism was a system that, killed many Italians from the Benito's regime, and also led to the Holocaust. When we talk about Adolf Hitler's Germany and World War II, it's like many modern words. Like racism is often overused. The word pervert, or all these like bad words with like bad connotations. It's being used for the wrong things, the wrong reasons. And so I just wanted to this is gonna be a series where I just go over certain words, the history, get more deep into it, and kind of try to inform you guys more about it, and so that you guys could be informed and also like inform others. So there are 3 questions I want you guys to take away with this. One being, what is a fascist? I hope I know this wasn't as in depth, or it wasn't the full history, but I hope you kind of get the idea. And the second question is, why is it being overused? I want us to think about why that word is really being overused, especially in today's society and today's government. And lastly, what can you do about it, right? You as a viewer, or even me as a person presenting it, like, what can I do about the spread of this word? And I think it's like really up to us. Like, we all ask for change, but like we don't really think about what should change or how it should go about, right? We just be like, oh, this gotta change, and all of that, but we don't really try to go in depth into that. So this is the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.